Hi, I'm here today to advocate for a new role that goes beyond instructional designer, the role of the technology enabler. Hi, I'm Dr. Linda Merillat, and I currently hold a faculty position in the School of Nursing at Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas, with the title of Lecturer Instructional Designer. I equate my position to being a personal chef. I only have to support the School of Nursing, not the entire university. We have two undergraduate programs, two graduate programs with a total of 536 students, 86 courses, 27 full-time faculty, 51 adjuncts or clinical faculty, and 8 staff members. Instructional designer is my title, but it is not what I do. My actual role is technology enabler. The role of technology enabler is the true role I have played throughout my professional career, and it has always been about the challenge of how to successfully use and integrate technology, the latest technology, into an organization. So what do I mean when I say technology enabler? First and foremost, a technology enabler is an instructional designer. It is someone who understands how to design a learning experience for students. Secondly, a technology enabler is a curriculum designer. It's someone who has a bigger picture of the overall educational experience. It requires looking at the educational experience as a whole across a program and not just at this specific module and its objectives or this specific course and its learning outcomes. Next, a technology enabler must be a technology guru. It has to be someone who not only understands how to use technology, but understands how to harness the power of the technology in the classroom. Another piece of this puzzle is that a technology enabler must be an interaction designer. In this world of online learning and apps, a technology enabler must be able to translate principles of interaction design into the learning experience. Finally, a learning tech enabler must be an application developer. To be competitive in this emerging landscape, organizations must be flexible and nimble and have the ability to creatively solve the problems posed to them. So what are some of the benefits of having a technology enabler? Just look at the verbs: systemizing, organizing, offering, promoting, training, providing, finding. A technology enabler looks across an organization to see how technology can be used to make things easier, simpler, better, more effective, or more efficient. Easier and simpler comes from having a background in interaction design. More effective or more efficient comes from having a background in application development. So, what are your problems areas? Let's visit this link, tiny URL, it's in the chat window. And I'll stop sharing to make it easier for you to complete the poll. As you complete the poll, I'll go over the challenges I've identified while working in higher education. New technology is always being introduced, and faculty need to be introduced how to use it, but more importantly, how to improve the teaching and learning experience. In general, technology in organization is underutilized. My research has shown that educators tend to only use the most basic features of an application. There is a move toward more hybrid and online delivery models, but many faculty are still unprepared for this transition. New and adjunct faculty are always being introduced to the pool. In general, they are uninformed about teaching and learning best practices, as well as how to use technology in an educational setting. We have an older faculty population. In many cases, they only need to use technology or aspects of it sporadically. They tend to forget how to do certain things from semester to semester. Higher education is very competitive. There have been drops in undergraduate enrollment for years. Institutions must continually find ways to deliver a better product. In some ways, students are more sophisticated with technology, yet their skills with basic applications such as Word or PowerPoint are lagging. Students today are used to media-rich experiences, but our faculty are not skilled in creating and using these types of resources. And we all have to cope with the pandemic. So let's see how this role of technology enabler translates to the real world and the impact it can have on an organization. When I first came to the School of Nursing, I was directed to implement quality matters for a brand new online RN to BSN program. A large part of my success was based on developing a set of templates that addressed 37% of the quality matter standards right off the bat and saved me about 8 hours of effort for each course I developed, and I've developed over 75 courses so far. Before, faculty would open up a course and find it completely empty. This is it. That's what they had. Absolutely nothing. Now, when they go to a course, we have a template in the course shell that's fully built out and scaffolds the faculty in teaching and learning best practices online. We have a syllabus template that focuses in on just what's needed. Notice it's in color. We have a School of Nursing template syllabus that highlights the technical information and policy and resources to make it easy to update that information in one place. We have an online student resource center built into the LMS that has these topics: academic advising, skill shops. Look at all those resources. And then as an enabler, I've developed a systematic process with tools for completing our course design. The Learning Experience Designer is a very simple tool, but is very powerful. Using this tool and this process is the thing that has really elevated the quality of courses in our program. So if you look at this spreadsheet, down the left-hand side are elements that you would use, different components of a learning experience. And then as you go across the bottom, you can see how it changes from week to week. And it allows us to interact and see how the elements of a course work together. So as I used my skills as an instructional designer to develop the LMS template. I used my skills as a curriculum designer to conceptualize the Learning Experience Designer tool. I used my skills as a technology guru to leverage the capabilities of our LMS. I used my skills as an interaction designer to develop the templates to make it easier for our faculty and students to use. This is an example from a recent project on revising our faculty evaluation process. Before, the faculty had a very basic form, same form they've used for 20 years, and they hated it. It was very subjective. How can you really tell what's the difference between a 4, 3, and a 2? Now, we have a very comprehensive form that's designed in Excel, that we have different elements, we have our goals, but it's based on rubrics. So there's a very clear criteria about what's required of a faculty member, dramatically different. And so I used my skills as a technology guru to program Excel to work like an application. I used my skills as an interaction designer to make the forms easy to use and by promoting an iterative design process. I used my skills as an application developer to design the spreadsheet so the data could be exported to a database for meta-analysis by the deans. When I came to the School of Nursing, there was no formal process for onboarding faculty from a technical perspective. As a PhD level educator, I understand the importance of research, and I conduct my own research on what works best. Based on one of our research studies, we developed a new faculty orientation checklist that includes specific training on using our LMS, as well as other topics such as Zoom. So Office 365, my Washburn. I've also faculty like to be in control of their learning. To allow faculty the flexibility to learn in their own way in their own time, I developed the Faculty Support Center, which is a virtual faculty center open to any faculty member that I've maintained for over 12 years. It has fundamentals like interactive teaching design, which is a framework that I've developed that's the basis for everything I do. The tools that I've developed, like the Learning Experience Designer, mastery modules, which are the workshops that I've developed for the faculty that can be downloaded in a handbook form, presentations, resource library, and there's over 350 resources that I've vetted over the years available here. And then in response to COVID, I developed an online student success kit. So in order to do this, I used my skills as an instructional designer, curriculum designer to develop the mastery modules for faculty. I used my skills as a technology guru to understand what technology skills faculty needed to know to be effective. I used my skills as an interaction designer and application developer to consolidate all my tools and resources into an easy to use website. So as a technology enabler for an organization, I also support the administration. This has manifested itself in many, many ways. As a technology enabler, I look for ways to streamline processes to make things easier. Data management, and more importantly, information management in an organization is never easy. It's inherently messy. And in this case, our before scenario is chaos. There's dozens of documents and spreadsheets everywhere on individual computers, and everyone complains about not being able to find anything. We've recently established a group to work on information management across the School of Nursing. As a technology enabler, I've helped enable this process by giving the team the tools and the structure. And so we're using Miro, we used to be real-time boards, virtual whiteboard, to identify, like, these are all the places that we can put data, and this is where we're going to put that data. And there's a place for brainstorming, and here's our project charter. Most significantly, we've moved from collecting data to providing information. And so I've developed a comprehensive database to manage all of the information for the School of Nursing, and especially related to documenting the criteria that we need to support accreditation. And as you can see, these topics are wide ranging. This is what an area domain, a menu and a domain area looks like. This is the School of Nursing dashboard. So here's all our key performance indicators with areas that are struggling highlighted in red. And just to illustrate, to pull back, tie it all together, this is from our new faculty evaluation form. This is a summarized scores across all the faculty and how they're performing. So I used my skills as a technology guru to use a variety of tools to meet our objectives. And I used my skills as an interaction designer, application developer, to develop a comprehensive database application. So what difference does it make? Having a technology enabler can contribute to the bottom line. 3 areas I have helped impact is our NCLEX pass rate, which is the key metric for a School of Nursing, implementation of our online RN to BSN program, and the expansion of our psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner program. So what is the impact? Whoa, that's a big number. And it doesn't include the thousands of man hours I've saved on the part of the faculty and staff by automating and streamlining processes. Now, I am not responsible for bringing all this money into the School of Nursing by myself. I just enabled it to become a reality. So let's revisit our poll and see how other people have responded. And I'm sure that many of you have had the same kinds of issues. And so think about it. If you had a technology enabler on your team, how would you approach these problems differently? In summary, I'm advocating that organizations create a new role, the role of technology enabler, that expands the skill sets required of instructional designers to also include the skills of a curriculum designer, a technology guru, an interaction designer, and an application developer. I'm also advocating that technology enablers be embedded within the organizations they serve so they can foster deep personal relationships with the faculty and staff, and so they can be present to respond to opportunities as they arise. Many of the projects we have implemented resulted from an offhand comment in a meeting that started with, "I wish we could. I could not have accomplished what I have over the past 6 years if I had to serve the entire university versus just the School of Nursing." Having technology in your organization is about encouraging, empowering, embracing, enjoying the look of pride and satisfaction on the face of the people you work to serve as they say, "Oh, you'd be so proud of me. I was able to." Being a technology enabler is not an easy job. It has the power to transform an organization, the people within it, to be more, do more, and to dream more. If you have any questions, this is my contact information, and I leave you with this thought. If you had a Linda, what could you make happen in your organization?